welcome back to another episode of The Dancing Doctor. So today I'm going to be talking about what is a dietary aid? What do we do? What's our purpose? So, the biggest myth and misconception that I often hear people come up and ask me is, you're a waitress, right? No, I am not. Very, very different from a waitress. So, my job, if you look up the definition, it actually has several definitions. So, one would be kind of comparable to a dishwasher. I obviously do dishes. I clean the kitchen, I sanitize workstations, all of the cleanliness aspect of things, that's something that I do. Then the next thing that's a part of my job description is serving people. So I serve people in a handicap accessible dining room, but I also serve people through tray line. So if people can't come down to the dining room or simply just don't want to, we have trays that, like plastic trays. If you've been in the hospital before, you've probably gotten one, that we put your meal on, and I can send that down and serve it to the people that way. So serving is a part of my job. The next part of my job that is probably the most complex portion of my job is learning the diets and serving the meals, like plating the meals. So we have three main types of meals that we serve, at least at my previous facility. Three main types that we serve. We've got regular diets, so they can eat just like you and me. We've got mechanical soft diets, which basically means they can have soft foods. You're never sure of quite why. The why is often above our pay grade, but we do try to work with nursing and the caregivers to accommodate these people as best we can. And then we've got puree diets. So puree diets is basically regular food that has been ground up so that it is how do I describe it? Basically similar to pudding. But if you could picture pudding that was cheeseburger flavored. So it's a very weird texture, but it works really well for people that have very, very difficult eating disorders. So I'm not familiar with the disorders, but what I am familiar with is how to put these plates together. So the first thing I do when I get a meal order in is I immediately check for allergies. I check for pre-existing conditions. So if somebody has diabetes, then we're not going to be serving them, the ice cream with Oreos on top and gummy worms. Sorry. We would really prefer that you stay healthy. We're not trying to do anything wrong. It's just, that's not really a safe option for somebody with diabetes, at least not to my knowledge. So we will actually substitute. I have a variety of desserts designed for people that need to be sugar-free. So I've got some fun fruit-flavored jellos. I've got sugar-free pudding, sugar-free ice cream. Y'all, I've got a variety, okay? So even if you're diagnosed with diabetes, I got you. So I check their ticket first. Then I go ahead and look at what they ordered and then the texture of whatever their ticket is. So it's like, okay, well, they ordered a cheeseburger, but is it a regular cheeseburger? Is it a pureed cheeseburger? Is it a mechanical soft cheeseburger? It's something to think about. And you do have to pay attention. For mechanical softs, they actually cannot have the bread crusts, oddly enough. So, like, if we're having grilled cheese that night, sure, they can have grilled cheese, but we just have to cut the crusts off. It's little things like that. So it's extraordinarily detailed. Lots and lots of memory work. The other challenging thing I know I said about memory work, so that made me think of this next bit. When you're dealing with a geriatric population, some of them are completely cognitive, totally fine. You can ask them for advice. You can be there with them. Like, you can basically treat it restaurant style and serve them that way. Others are not as cognitive, for lack of a better term. Some you start to see signs of dementia or Alzheimer's. Others are, like I said, I'm non-clinical, so I've seen people with something, like something is not right, and I don't know what it is. I would love to, and hopefully once I am a doctor, I am able to be like, oh, I bet this is what that is. And I can, do a physical exam and run some tests and confirm my diagnosis. But as of now, I'm kind of left pondering based off of symptoms and lots of interactions that I've had with them. So I don't know. So when you're dealing with a resident that already has pre-existing medical conditions, specifically with the memory, ordering food can be really, really difficult. Now, usually nursing helps me out with this. Shout out to all nurses. Y'all are awesome. But usually nursing helps me out with getting the resident the food that they need, simply because nursing spends way more time with these people than I do. But I see these people and I've had interactions with them, so I am somewhat familiar with how to interact with them. I don't know all the details of their case, but I do know them, if that makes sense. So if nursing is overwhelmed because they've got like 4 people that they're all happen to be, needing assistance feeding, it's like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. I'll help somebody order. It's no biggie. So I go and I help this person order. Well, when you do that, you cannot read the menu to them. They're not going to remember it. Like, you could read a bunch of different menu items in one ear, out the other. They just genuinely don't remember it. It's very sad. So what I like to do is I like to start kind of with their entree and be like, okay, I have this entree, I have that entree. Which one do you want? And it helps if you know what they like to eat. Like if it's a Friday, for example. Some of my residents that have Catholic beliefs, I already know they're going to refuse anything with fish. So seafood is not an entree that's going to be an option for them. But already knowing that, I can be like, okay, what entree options are they going to accept? Things like that. So I can go ahead and help them order that way. And I do the same thing with their sides and their dessert. It's like option 1, option 2. And that way they get some choice in their diet. and they feel like they are heard, and it gives them more free will. Even though they're older and maybe, physically challenged, they still have free will, and that needs to be respected. So I try my best. Okay, so all of that to say, with the helping people order, memorizing special dietary needs, plating food, getting all of that ready, and then also doing cleanup, no, I'm not a waitress. I don't work for tips. Like that's not a part of my job. Although, oddly enough, I have had some people attempt to tip me. I'm like, no, thank you. Like, I'm genuinely here to help you. You keep your money. But, so yeah, I'm not a waitress. And my job, even though it's non-clinical, is very important. A lot of people, I've literally seen physicians, very experienced physicians, waltz right by us, completely disrespect us. They've got questions about residents' diet. They won't talk to us. Guys, I get it. You are a doctor. You have far superior training than I currently have. Total respect for that. But if you want to know about the diet, come ask us. I can tell you what they had to drink this morning, the day before, and the day before that. Because oftentimes residents will reorder the same drink over and over and over and over. So if you're curious, is this person getting too much calcium, from their meal? Come ask me. I don't know how much is too much, but I can tell you what they ate. So, yeah. So as a doctor, that is definitely one thing that I want to implement just in myself is, when the physician comes in and they're there, if you see Dietary, be nice, be friendly, say hi, be respectful, and treat them as an equal. Dietary is the people that literally prevents starvation. So if you see Dietary, come into your hospital room, you see them in the hallway, give them a friendly wave, because a lot of times they are ignored. And we are good at sneaking. We're good at being invisible in the hospitals, and in the nursing homes. You saw me get ready for work. We wear black. That is our color. But guys, be nice. Give us a smile. We could use it. So yeah, being Dietary is really, really cool. You definitely do get an opportunity to really reflect. And I want to explain some of my biblical reflections as well. It just really makes you stop and think. Like, Jesus fed the 5,000. And you're literally getting an opportunity to feed people that maybe they can't feed themselves. Maybe they're in a position now where they don't have anybody to care for them. They don't have anybody to eat with. Maybe they don't have income. Maybe they don't have a way to get food. And you're that person that gets a chance to feed them. Like, is that not wildly cool, you guys? So I'm so grateful to have been a dietary aide and gotten to learn these things, and I hope to share more with you guys in the next video. In the next video, I really want to share some information about the equipment we use, because a lot of people, another misconception is that we use equipment that you'd find in the kitchen, and that's adorable, guys. I love that misconception so much, but no, that's not what we use, and I cannot wait to show you guys that. Hopefully I can find some pictures for you all, but bye for now.